Oh, my head's so itchy. Why? Anything interesting happening in here? No. Oh, there he is. He moved. Hey, bud. I have a question for you if you don't mind. You were in luck. I have a great many answers. Algernon, what do you know about the Great Dragon Feuerschwinge? The elf ponders for a moment, twisting a ring on his right hand. Feuerschwinge. The Feuerschwinge. That is a name that hasn't been heard in some time, over 40 years, I believe, though I cannot say for certain. Time and I do not get along. She was among the first of the great dragons to awaken and the first to be killed by meta-humanity, or so the story goes. You don't buy that? I take nothing at face value. It is one of the secrets of my longevity. History is the version of past events that people have decided to agree upon. Truth is something else. Absinthe interjects. A great dragon is not like other awakened creatures. Whereas a basilisk is nothing more than a Komodo dragon whose genetic structure was mutated by magic's return, a great dragon is a creature of magic. A creature that has seen more than one cycle of the world. This is the 6th. When a great dragon falls, the sound resonates across time and space. Got it, you're skeptical. So how does the story go? Firewing awakened along with Lofwyr, Nebelher, and Kaltenstein around the first decade of the century. She was first seen over the Haas Mountains. After a long flight announcing her presence, she began raining fire on every town and village she came across. Why the attack? Think she was protecting her lair? No one knows. Firewing was never engaged in dialogue. German military forces are said to have killed her over the Sox the year she emerged. This, after months of fire, devastation, and terror. Her body was never recovered. Whenever I hear the body was never recovered, I immediately think faked her own death. Beware the holovids, my friend. They will lot your brain. Nevertheless, it's possible that the Firewing still exists. Dragons are cunning. Quite cunning. And a sealed emergency zone is, by its very nature, sealed. We cannot know what happens inside with certainty. One must wonder what effect the radiation from a nuclear meltdown might have had upon her. You seem like a connected guy. Think any of your magical friends might know? Algernon crosses his arms across his chest, considers. That is always a possibility. The sum of my knowledge is vast, but it remains finite. He frowns. I did hear from one such friend who believed that the leader of the toxic shaman cult Disciples of Cleansing Fire is actually Firewing trapped in human form. The cult is known for following the dragon totem while also practicing toxic magic. Now, is there anything else you need to know? What kind of magic do you practice? Shamanic? Hermetic? Personally, the true kind, but I sell goods tailored to all traditions. In my shop, we do not discriminate. What the fuck is the true kind? Have you ever heard of a gang called the Kreuzritters? Sadly, yes, they are quite active here in Berlin. They're fascist, plain and simple. They cling to Christian doctrine to justify their actions, but they are killers first and religious fanatics second. Just what is the deal with religion here, anyway? I've never paid much attention myself. Well, it's complicated. We stand in a country that has clung to its religious heritage with considerable zeal. In much of the developed world, the awakening shifted public perception away from organized religion, but here in Germany, it's had the opposite effect. While many developed nations have adopted spiritualism, some here might call it paganism, as their de facto belief system, the Germany of 2054 remains a Christian nation. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, whether that's a good thing or a bad one is open to interpretation. I take no stand on the matter either way. What do you believe? I am a simple traveler and a seeker of truth. I believe what I directly observe, and I have observed. His voice trails off, and the corner of his mouth twitches up into a smile. Much. But what's the source of magic? Where does this truth come from? You ask questions that have no answers, young elf. The elf strokes his beard, a contemplative look on his face. My experiences lead me to suspect that magic is its own source. You may, of course, choose to believe differently. It matters little to me either way. So you think that the world's religions are wrong, then? Did I say that? No, young elf. If anything, I am saying that all belief systems are equally valid. After all, they are all different interpretations of the truth, and how can the truth be wrong? I don't buy any of this. We're dealing with fundamental contradictions here. If one philosophy says there's no God, and another says that there are hundreds of them, they can't both be right. Could a Kabbalist create a golem if his face were misplaced? Could a voodooist Hyungun... I don't know what the... Voodooist Hongun communicate with the Loa if they did not exist? Could a Shinto Kanishi channel the power of kami spirits if they were figments of his imagination? All of these things happen in the sixth world, and yet the traditional forms of many religions would each claim the others are wrong. It's a conundrum, to be sure. The world's greatest religions have been struggling with it ever since the awakening. He offers you an apologetic smile. This is a problem that I cannot solve for you, young elf. You'll have to find your own answers. Intriguing. Well, it's given me a lot to think about. What's the deal with your assistant? There's something funny about her eyes. Absent as a friend, nothing more. She helps out around the shop when the fancy strikes her. She is nobody's assistant, and I am no one's master. But her eyes, though. He pauses for a moment, considering. I believe they suit her personality. Thanks. What's your story? How long have you been in the Cruise Bazaar long? I have many stories. Stories of dancing with can't fucking read for shit. Stories of dancing spirits and raging dragons, of unchecked magic and swarming chaos. All of these stories are true. As for the Cruise Bazaar, I've always been here, quietly peddling my wares. It's a simple life, but a good one. Now, is there anything else that you need to know? Nope. Let's see. Anything happening on the mission computer? Boop. Let's see if there's anything about completed jobs. Oh, I thought it would have like something about what I did, but okay. You have 200 messages. Vid regarding payback is sweet. The screen flickers to life and Maxim's face appears. He's wearing a broad grin and you can hear the sounds of celebration in the background. Hey there, muscle. Not sure if Tuck gave me the right address, but I figured it was worth a shot. I don't know if you heard, but our favorite poly club got hit all sides by the F-State today. It was glorious. Anyway, just thought you'd want to share in the good news. And thanks for your help back there. I don't think we'd made it out there without you. He raises a hand in salute. Take care, Aether. The message ends and the image fades. You find yourself back at your inbox. Regards. Thanks. Alexander to Aether. Hey Aether, Uncle Datrix told me that I could message you here, so I figured that I should. He probably told you that I'm living at Samuel's, huh? Well, that's where I am. It's different, I'll give it that much. I like that I don't get pressure to hurt people here, so that's good. And nobody smacks me around, even though I can tell that a lot of the orcs and trolls want to. I do get yelled at a lot and called a lot of names, but I guess that making me feel bad about that kind of thing is all part of the plan. Life kind of sucks right now, but at least nobody is going to make me kill anyone. Uncle D says that it's going to get better, and maybe it will. I don't know. Anyway, what I mostly wanted to say was thanks for not killing me back at the Humanist compound. I had a gun on you, so you totally could have. But you didn't, and I'm really glad about that. Thanks, Alexander. There we go. As the U-band hums toward the Frankenfurter Tor, you tug idly at the fabric of your maintenance uniform. You found it in a duffel bag on your seat when you boarded, along with a note from Dura to put it on before your arrival. The moment you step off this train, the note said, your trial run begins. You're to rendezvous with the rest of your team, reconnoiter the building, and plant the specified devices in Alashir's suite. Beyond that, your approach will be left to you. Do not disappoint us, you are being watched. This will definitely not end poorly in any way. As you emerge from the dingy confines of the U-Bahn terminal and step into the light of day, you find yourself confronted by a wall of muscle in a knight-errant uniform. You're with maintenance. It isn't a question. He stands impassively, waiting for a response. Yes, sir. Have you seen any of the other maintenance guys around here? Yeah, they've been trickling in over the last 15 minutes or so. I've already done a security check on your entire crew. Everything checked out, so you're good to head into the building whenever you want. Thanks for your time. He nods at you. Have a good one. Let's not spend any more time with him than is necessary. A young dwarf looks up at you, wide-eyed with apprehension. From the way that she's fitting, you can tell that she's terrified. She bites her lower lip, eyes darting from side to side. Finally, she takes a step towards you. Hello? Are you Miss Aether? I take it you're on my maintenance crew? Yeah, I am. My name is Jana. She tries on the smile. It falls away almost immediately. Good to meet you, Jana. Are the others still on their way? No. They, sort of jumped the gun a little. They're already inside. Let me get this straight. They charged on into the building and you do anything to stop them. The dwarf wrings her hands. I told them to wait. Our instructions were clear, I said. We need to go in as a group, but they didn't listen to me. They just went on in anyway. Alright, calm down. I see that you have a toolbox. Are you a rigger or something? She swallows. Well, no. I'm not like you, not like the others. You should probably know that. You'll have to clarify that. Violence makes me sick to my stomach. I've never broken into a building or stolen anything in my life. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'm not a criminal, I'm just an electrician. If you're not a Shadowrunner, what are you doing on this crew? Her face flushes red. I'd rather not talk about it. Let's just say that someone did me a favor once, and that's coming along on this thing is how I have to pay it back. Look, in the end it doesn't matter. I have to be on this run, and you have to bring me along. It's what they want. Do you at least know how to defend yourself? Well, kind of. I brought my taser, and I have a little holdout pistol for self-defense. I've done shooting at the range, but I've never fired at a living thing before, certainly not a person. I'm hoping that we can get through this thing without me having to. Well, it makes two of us. Where did our teammates abandon you? About 10 minutes ago. I watched them storm through the front doors of the building we're going to hit. Son of a bitch. They'll still be on the first floor. Nobody's getting upstairs until they bypass the security locks in the elevator. That's why I decided to wait for you out here. I figured that they couldn't get too far ahead of us if I didn't go inside with them. Alright, let's get inside before the others blow the run. Yeah, okay, let's do it. It's a nice looking place. A mid-level corporate compound, complete with living spaces on the upper levels. Let's look around a bit first. Do some reconnaissance. Oh! Inspect. It's too high to reach. Well then. Doesn't look that high. Just jump a little. Don't you have somewhere to be? I bet he's one of the people who's watching us. Oh, this is sketchy as shit. As you step through the door, you find yourself confronted by a pair of men wearing the same kind of uniform that you are. Judging by their expressions, there is no love lost between the two. Hearing the door swing open, they turn to face you. The shorter of the two, a human with arcane symbols tastefully embossed into his belt, glares at you. You're here, finally, and you brought our little mouse of an electrician with you. Better late than never, but not much better. You're tardy enough as it is. He jerks his thumb at the elf standing beside him. I'll leave it to you to keep our pack mule in line. The elf's lips curl into a snarl. Hanging from his back is a bulging pack that looks incredibly heavy. His broad shoulders sag under the weight of whatever's inside. He's dumb as a post, but he can lift heavy things. Might not be bad in a fight either. At the very least, he can soak up a few bullets for the rest of us. Staring daggers at the mage, he spits out a long string of foreign words in a single succinct breath. The sound of it is lovely, but his expression leaves little doubt that the message behind the words is an ugly one. Oh, and I hope you can speak Spirethiel. He shakes his head in disgust. Damn useless immigrants. Do us all a favor and keep your opinions to yourself. The corner of his mouth lifts into an ugly smirk. You may be the leader of this team, but I'll speak my mind whenever I please. Get used to it. Oh, and by the way, think you could have gotten here any later, pal? I've got an important meeting to get to, and if I'm late, the shit is going to hit the... This isn't getting us to your meeting any faster. He flashes a hateful glance at the dwarf, and then turns his attention back to you. No, it isn't. So let's get to the penthouse and plant the cameras. I'll mask them against detection, and then we can all go our separate ways. The elf mutters something under his breath and hitches the bulky pack up a little higher on his back. His muscles bulge under the strain of it. That pack looks heavy. I can help you with it if you want. The elf blinks uncomprehendingly and takes a half step back. I told you, he can't understand a word you're saying. Nothing's come out of his mouth but that pigeon drivel the elves called a language. A Tir-Tir-Gir dialect, if I'm not mistaken. I wish that he'd do us all a favor and go back. Can you understand me at all, brother? The elf's dialect is completely foreign. It's quite unlike the form of Sprethiel spoken by the elves of Tir na Nog. You can only catch a few words. You, terrible, insolent of threatening, see if at all. Mutter under your breath. So Lucas, no, look, just be calm, my friend. Your words don't seem to have much impact. The elf's scowl deepens. Now that we're all together, let's discuss our approach. Anyone know what we're supposed to get? How we're supposed to get into Alisher's penthouse? I do. If you can get me to a building access panel that's on the same circuit as the penthouse, I should be able to put its security system into maintenance mode. The job will take some creative wiring. Well, that, and whatever's in the pack that the elf is carrying. Our employers gave me the schematics. And do you know where we'll find that access panel, little mouse? Quit calling me that! She takes a moment to calm herself. And yes, I do. There's an access panel in one of the mid-range apartments on the same floor. My contact gave me a key code that should get us in. You've said should twice already. That makes me feel uneasy. Well, there's nothing that I can do about that. It's the plan that I was given, and we're stuck with it. Unless you have a better idea, we'll just have to follow our instructions and hope for the best. She turns to face you. Get me to a building access terminal on this floor, and I can rewire the elevator. That's the first thing we need to do. Once we're upstairs, we use the code I was given. I rewire Alishar's security system, and we hide the cameras in his apartment. Her brow furrows. Well, that's the theory, anyway. Alright then, let's go. Hello, stressed suit. The well-dressed orc stops his pacing to stare at you as you approach. Heavy worried lines etch his forehead, and his eyes are bloodshot. He looks like he hasn't slept in a month. I don't want to be rude, but I'm a little busy right now. If this is about building masons, take it someplace else. James' cheeks flush red. He takes a step forward. Watch it. You don't get to talk to me like... The orc bristles. Like a janitor? Yes, I do, because that's what you are. If you want to keep wearing that uniform, you better watch the attitude. Now, isn't there a floor that could be cleaning or something? I've got a lot on my mind to worry about. Important things I don't want to be bothered. You think that just because we're in maintenance, we don't understand what you're going through? I have 6 21Bs to file before the day is out, and if I don't, I can kiss my efficiency bonus goodbye. With visible effort, he calms himself. Look, sorry, I'm not trying to be unpleasant. It's just that I have a huge presentation to give the board in 20 minutes. I stayed up all night practicing it, and now I'm so tired that I can't even remember my own name. That's rough. He shakes his head miserably. I'm going to botch this, and the worst part is, most of those bastards will assume this because I'm an orc. They already make jokes behind my back. After this, it's going to get worse. That's tough, man. Best of luck. He scowls and continues to pace. I wish I could help him. I'm gonna remember to save things just in case it... Hi. Hi. Why isn't it? There you go. The guard steps forward, interposing himself between you and the terminal. Your security clearance isn't authorized to be in here. We're doing a building-wide maintenance sweep of all major systems. Want us to take a look at your terminal? You know that I can't do that. You don't have the appropriate clearance to touch this terminal, let alone service it. Besides, it's been running great since that other maintenance team worked on it last week. I'm surprised you don't have that in your records. You know how it is with us in management. The left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. It's ridiculous. Story of my life. You have my sympathies. Well, we'll be on our way then. Take it easy. Inspect. A boutique food kiosk. The sign up front advertises a variety of local source foodstuff and all of them terribly overpriced. Take a closer look at the food on offer. Glancing in the self-serve refrigerated section of the kiosk, you find a variety of sandwiches wrapped in slick plastic. You could eat for a week for the price of one of those things. Yeah, sounds about right. Ooh, a tailor. A saleswoman expression brightens at your approach. Welcome to Dunkley's Fine Clothiers. Are you shopping for a suit? A fashionable business suit made of ballistic cloth catches your eyes. It would be a simple manner to slide it under your baggy maintenance overalls. Yeah. Ah, good choice. Style and safety. You have a good eye. She takes your arm. Here, let me show you to your dressing room. Alright, let's inspect. Joanna studies the junction box for a moment, then turns to face you. See that guard in the hallway? Well, he was standing next to a junction box just like this one. Looks like they're both in the same circuit, too. So? So I could use this one to overload the one that the guard is standing by. She looks at the junction box again and nods. Yeah, I could feed a nice power spike into that one from here. You know, if you wanted me to. What would that do? Make a loud bang and arc enough voltage into that hallway to knock out a gang of trolls. I'd rather you didn't. We'll find another way past the guard. Fine by me, just thought I'd offer. Corporate woman. Hello. A well-groomed corporate couple stand in the corner, browsing racks of pamphlets about neural enhancement headwear. The woman's head turns at the sound of your approach. Upon seeing your uniform, her nose wrinkles. Oh, hello. Are we in your way? We wouldn't want to keep you from your work. Her spray-tanned husband chimes in. Right, the last thing we'd want is to come between you people and whatever it is that you do. Everything's fine, we're just doing routine maintenance checks. Ah, well, don't let us get in your way. You're not in the way at all. Say, what are you looking at there? This? He holds up the display model that they were inspecting so that you can see it. A small chip along with a glossy, attractive information sheet. It's a pediatric skill wire system for our son. Our little Hans deserves the very best, and he'll need it if he's going to compete with his classmates at the academy. That means headwear from Augmentech. We may not be as rich as the other parents, but this at least is something we can do. I'm surprised that they sell cyberware for children. Don't the kids, I don't know, outgrow it? The man sighs. Yes, he'll need another one in a year, and every year from after that, from now until college, but I suppose it's the price for success. Our son's classmates come from affluent families. Even the least successful of Hans' peers have his pediatric encufflin and arranged on up from there. The academy grades on a curve. If we were to send Hans to school without any enhancement, we'd be setting him up for failure. What about the kids that can't afford cyber surgery? The scholarship students, you mean? He pauses, considering. Well, I suppose that someone has to be at the bottom of the pile. Yes, but that someone won't be our Hans. It's an unfortunate situation, of course. He cocks his head apologetically. But then that's the world we live in, isn't it? So the rich kids get the deck stacked in their favor, and the kids who get where they are on merit get shafted. Sounds about right. Like I said, it's the world we live in. Your world, maybe. Not mine. Well, I suppose that I wouldn't expect you to understand. And now, if you don't mind, I'll go back to shopping for my son. Go push your broom somewhere else. Hey, tech vendor. I said, hey, tech vendor. The woman behind the counter smiles at you, her cheeks dimpling. Good afternoon, and welcome to Augmentech, the boutique that makes a better you of you. Her voice is overflowing with forced cheerfulness. Idly, you wonder how many times she has to give this exact speech every day. Tell me you can help me today. Tell me how I can help you today. I might be in the market for some cyberware. Then you come to the right place. She gestures at the terminal in front of you. Please feel free to browse our catalog. We have a huge stock of performance-enhancing augmentations to make you the person you've always dreamed you could be. Scanning over the tastefully designed catalog, you find that most of Augmentech's stock consists of overpriced cosmetic cyberware, metabolic tweaks to help burn away cellulite, ruthenium and polymer hair extensions, ultra-expensive lionization treatments aimed at wealthy septuagenarians. Towards the back of the catalog, you find some more practical chrome, but nothing that a Shadowrunner would want. From designer replacement limbs to nephretic screens for alcoholics, Augmentech carries the very best in fascial implants for the ultra-rich. The mental enhancement section is a little more promising, but you don't see anything that you couldn't already find in the Cruise Bazaar. You're about to turn away when an ad on the last page grabs your attention. The newest iteration of the Encephalon system, complete with an integrated math SPU. The Encephalon Next, as it's called, is bleeding-edge commercial-grade tech. Non-compete agreements prevent it from being sold at most stores, but you found one that carries it. Hey, this headwear looks promising. Mind if I take a look? She glanced at the item on the screen. Looking at the new Encephalon, huh? Good choice. Our regional supervisor has one, and it is amazing. Totally worth the price. And what is the price? It doesn't say on this screen. We're doing a special right now. Yours for only 250 new yen. That's actually really cheap. Alright, sign me up. That's wonderful. Good choice. I'll just swipe your PredSec, then I'll print up your purchase order. Okay, where do I go to get it installed? Is your dock on the back or something? Her brow furrows. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm afraid you don't understand. We're a boutique shop, not a cyber surgery clinic. We can sell you the device and have it sent to the clinic of your choice for installation, but we don't do the surgery here. Of course, your doctor will bill you separately for installation, but this way you can ensure that the procedure is carried out wherever you're most comfortable. I'll set it up. Who fucking cares? It's only 250 new yen. You are now the proud owner of an Cephalon Nex. We'll have it sent to the Triage Cyber Clinic as per your request. When you arrive, just show the doctor or a member of his staff the proof of purchase that you're holding and he'll know what to fetch for you. Thanks. Thank you, ma'am. Have a great day. Alrighty. Hello, sir. The guard stance shifts slightly as you approach. Can I help you? Yeah, could you open the door to the utility area? We have some work to do in there. You can't read the guard's expression through his mirrored face mask, but his body language makes it clear that he's staring at you. The door is security coded Delta grade. Your ID says you're just a Theta, so no, I can't open the door. You're not listening. We have work to do in there. I heard her loud and clear, Mop Jockey. Now you listen to me. Nobody without Delta clearance gets to this door, period. I suggest you talk to management. If you really do need to be in here, they'll upgrade your clearance. Otherwise, pissed off. Cool down. We're on the same side here. This is a dispatch problem, I'm sure of it. I don't envy you guys having to work with them every day. The guard's shoulder relaxed. Yeah, I hear ya. I swear. It's amazing that anyone gets anything done all around here. Tell you what, you don't need to go all the way back to management. Just call in and get your clearance charged. I'll let you guys in as soon as the authorization comes through. Now, I better go take care of this in person. But one thing before I go. Instead of this week's protocols, they sent us out with last week's. Anything changed since then? He shakes his head. Unbelievable. You know, it makes my blood boil to think of how much money they make. It's people like you and me that actually keep this place running, and yet the idiots at Dispatch pull in triple what we do for sitting on their asses and fouling everything up. Right there with you, man. Now, about those protocols? Yeah, let's see. They changed the emergency assistance code from November to Indigo. I think that's everything else should be the same from last week. Indigo. Yeah, thanks. Now I better head back to the management to get that clearance issue sorted. He nods sagely. Best of luck, pal. Do us all a favor and call out those idiots at Dispatch. Not that they'll do anything. On second thought, don't bother saying anything. They'll just wind up getting another raise. Don't I know it. Take care of yourself. Yeah, you too. So it's Indigo. I imagine if I say something to the guy here, it'll do something. I wish I could help the orc guy out, though. Hey, bud. I said, hey, bud. Your buddy across the way wanted me to give a message. Status Indigo compromised. Does that mean anything to you? The guard jerks upright in alarm. He said, what? Step out of my way, please. The terminal is logged into the building's security system. It should be relatively simple to check its threat assessment software into sending out a false positive. Enter the false positive into the system to indicate threats coming from a far part of the complex away from your target. A few response codes flash on the screen. You there, maintenance guy, stop right where you are. Is there a problem? You're damn right there is. You lied to me. Nobody called a code Indigo, and when Dispatch took a closer look at your work order, they found that they were fakes. You're all coming with us. The mage's hand ignites with arcane energy. His mouth goes into an ugly smile. It's the end of the line for you, boys. Bad luck. Hold on, everybody. We can still talk this out. Janet begins to stammer out in agreement, her eyes wide. Yeah, we don't want any The guards jerk their weapons out of their holsters and turn to fire. Damn it. Oh, I'm on the run. Honk. Missed. Why are you way over there? Yay, I got a card. Wordlessly, Janet pops an access panel at the base of the terminal and begins snipping wires. A few minutes later, she replaces the panel's cover and stands. Alright, that should do it. I bypassed the security lock on the elevator. We're good to head upstairs. That was quick. I know my way around electrical systems. My father used to own rental properties all over Munich, and I helped him maintain them. She smiles shyly. I've been rewiring buildings since I was a little girl. Touching. I don't know what this has to do with getting me to my meeting, but please, by all means, keep waltzing down memory lanes. We'll wait. I couldn't care less about your meeting, James, but we should keep moving all the same. James turns and stalks toward the doorway. The others follow behind. Oh, everyone else is locked down. That's unfortunate. Alright, I'm gonna need you to get me on this floor's access panel. It'll be in room 303 on this floor. The door combination is 14291. She glances up at you. Make sure you write that down. Yeah, I've got it. Okay, once I'm there, I can put the penthouse door in maintenance mode. That'll set its key code combination to 11111, so we shouldn't have any trouble getting in to plant the camp. James cuts her off. We've already wasted too much time. If we don't pick up the pace, I'm going to be late to my meeting, and I cannot afford that. He points at you. You're going to have to get us moving faster, jackass. No more unnecessary delays, and no more long speeches. You're in no position to dictate terms. Our employers put me in charge of this team, remember? The mage's lip curls into a sneer, a fact I'm painfully aware of. If I were under instructions to follow your lead, this would be a very different conversation. Yeah, well you are, so shut up and deal with it. She shakes her head in disgust. God, I wish we didn't need you to finish this job. His lips curl into a sneer. Sadly for all of us, you do. Oh, and by the way, we're going to have words when this is over, Mouse. A stream of caustic syllables pour out of the elf's mouth. His back is stooped under the weight of his pack, but his hands have clenched into fists. He rolls his eyes and points a bony finger at the elf. Look, it's trying to speak. I want to get this over with, Afer. I want to get away from these people and go home. From around the corner you hear a sound. Heavy boots on tile moving towards you at full run. Oh no. I thought the point was that we sent people away. Oh. I'm not surprised. Fucking amazing, my dude. Ah, there's more. I thought I sent people away. What was the point? Like, everything I did down there feels like it was absolutely useless. Bonk. 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 Boom. Holy shit, 18 damage? Oh, there's more people. Of course there is. I'm very surprised by this fact. Oop, left on the wrong one. Bonk. Bonk. Ow. Ow. I'm gonna give you a little heal, because you're a precious bean. Died. Oh, that's good. Almost dead. Oh, I need to reload. Maybe forward. And maybe to kill the guy. Splat. Bonk. I don't know what I expected, really. And then he missed. Like the wonderful idiot that he is. And my line of sight is blocked, so I have to move forward anyways. So is she, I think. Time to murder! Whoop. Ha. Fuck, what was I doing? I need to get to penthouse security. .302, 303, door console. In place of a keypad, the console sports a smooth Duroplast panel with a data port in its center. It would seem that building management didn't want laymen tampering with this machine. Damn it. Well. The trendy design panel leads Apartment 303. A slick, high-grade keypad has been mounted to the door frame. What was the code again? 14291. Yay. Moving the painting aside, you find a large maintenance access panel. Jana steps forward, a slight frown on her face. Okay, I guess that this is me. She pulls a multi-tool from her belt and uses it to loosen the bolts that hold the panel in place. Pulling up the schematic on her PDA, she examines the terminal's wiring. Hurry it up, woman. The clock is ticking. Don't rush me. This is complicated. Popping the lid on her toolbox, she grabs a pair of wire clippers, a soldering gun, and a roll of electrical tape. With a look of grim determination on her face, she begins to snip into a massive harness of cables that runs through the Alright, she taps the elf on the knee. I'm gonna need that thing now. He nods and reaches back to unsling his pack. Placing it on the floor, he opens it and pulls out a large blue canister. It takes all of his strength to wrestle it up from the ground and into the space in the access panel that Jana had created. There you go, you dumb mox. Do something useful for a change. The elf says nothing. Unburdened by his heavy pack, he stands up straight, and for the first time, you appreciate how much larger he is than the corporate mage. He stares down at James, his hands bunched into face. James, for the last time, keep your damn mouth shut. I'll say whatever all of you shut up. You're distracting me. The mage falls silent, and Jana goes back to work. It only takes a few minutes for her to screw, wire, and solder the canister into the harness. She inspects her work, nods, and then turns to face you. She stands and brushes the hair out of her eyes. Alright, job's done. Just need to do a bit of cleanup and we can get out of here. Nice job, Jana. Yeah, thanks. It was not that difficult, just a matter of following our employer's instructions. Hey, that's great, but time's ticking, so let's keep moving. He glances at the jumble of wire and circuitry through the open access panel. To hell with cleanup, we'll be gone before anyone notices anything anyway. You sure whatever— I'm just not going to even ask. You're sure that whatever you did disarmed the security system? She shrugs. Not really. I have no idea what that canister was or what it's supposed to do. Our employers told me that I had to wire it into the wall at this junction, so I did. That's all I know. If they say it'll work, then it'll work. They'd have no reason to lie about something like that. I'm just gonna say, our employers don't tell us much, do they? The mage sneers. You haven't been doing this long, have you? The lodge doesn't tell you things that you don't need to know, and you don't ask. Your job is to do what they tell you, take the money, and keep your mouth shut about it afterwards. It's all very simple. The lodge? The mage's eye widened incredulously. You don't even know who you're working for, do you? You're leading this team and you don't have a clue. Jana cuts in, her eyes wide. Both of you shut up. Someone's coming. Fuck. A tall, deeply tanned man rounds the corner at a jog and comes bustling into the room. You recognize him as the father that you spoke with at Augmentech kiosk. He stops short when he sees your team and the smile falls from his face. You! The lady from the cyberware kiosk. What the hell is going on in here? He advances on you full of bluster and bravado. This is my apartment. I own it. You can't just waltz in here and start pulling the walls apart without my consent. Or maintenance, look at the uniforms. Yeah, I see that, but it doesn't give you the right to force your way into my home and start tearing up my walls. At the very least, you shouldn't have given me advance notice. James shoots you an irritated glance. This is a waste of time and I'm already running late. If you don't take care of this idiot, I will. The elf barks something out at James. The sound is uncharacteristically ugly, all harsh consonants and sibilant hisses. Let's keep calm, everyone. This is a simple misunderstanding. Misunderstanding my ass. Your friend just called me an idiot in my own home. He wheels on James, his hands balled into fists. I want to know your employee number, and I want to know it now. The mage raised an eyebrow, smiling. Do you now? I'm a member of the Homeowners Association for this level. You know what that means? I have a lot of pull with building management. He thrusts an outstretched finger at James. Your days were not uniform numbered. I promised you that. Calm down, sir. There must be a problem at dispatch. You should have received a work order last week. I didn't receive a thing from dispatch, or from anyone else for that matter. My wife and I are entertaining guests here in an hour and a half, and our living room is ruined. I need to know that you're going to fix this, and that you'll clean this place back up, and that you'll pull a new coat of wax on the floors. I need the hell with this. I don't have God, my mouth. The hell with it, I don't have time for this. His hands twist into claws and he raises them high. An instant later, they are wreathed in a natural purple glow. James, stand down! We do not need to kill this man! The glow intensifies into a scintillating torrent of light. The energy lances and stabs at James' hooked fingers as if it were alive. The man in the doorway recoils in alarm and his palm slams down on a plastic disc that's been clipped to his belt. Too late, you recognize the object. A panic button. No alarm sounds, nothing happens. The homeowner backpedals, trying to put a wall between himself and James. He's moving too slowly. Much too slowly. Everybody stand down! Your words are met with an incomprehensible screech. In your peripheral vision, you catch a flurry of motion. Your elvish companion is moving, making a beeline towards James. John is hanging off of him, trying to slow him down, but he barely seems to notice. With a kick, he sends her tumbling to the ground, then reaches for his weapon. Stop, damn it! We need him alive to complete the run! With a kick, he sends her tumbling to the ground, then turns back towards James. Step between the elf and James. I hate the bastard too, but Jane is right. We need him. The elf comes up short, staring at you. He sweeps his vision from you to Jaina to James. Then he exhales heavily and spits out a jumble of broken German. Killers, innocents of, will not stand for it. I not slave. All lodgemen bastards. I kill all. God damn it. Well, this is a fine fucking mess, isn't it? I probably failed this edition. Or shouldn't I be able to get into everything now? No, I guess it only works for the thing. The sternly designed panel reads penthouse. Whoops. You place the first camera, adheres to the ceiling with an audible clip. James steps forward, his fingers bent. He whispers a long string of hushed syllables that seem to vibrate in your mind. For a moment, nothing seems to happen. Then you blink and the camera is gone. Done. Get moving to the next one. I might go back to the quick save I made and see if I can get this thing to play out differently. Just because I want to see if, like, you know, I can make this not an absolute fucking gong show. We'll see. Boop. When we get through this run, I'm going to tell my handler about you. You won't work for the lodge again. Not because you're an incompetent leader, but because I have pull and I don't like you very much. What do you have to say about that? You can do whatever you want when we're done with this. For now, shut your mouth and finish the job. That infuriating smirk returns to his face. I will. He whispers to the third camera, and soon enough it fades from view. That's it. We're done. Let's go. Damn it.
I mean, line of sight is blocked. He's like right fucking there. I figured there was another person. Holy shit, you look terrifying. I don't like you in any way. Oh. It's a single shot. Haha! Get fucked! Oh, great aim, dude. Bonk. Oh. Acid stream. Okay, oh. Ow. Reload. Bang bang. Oh. Ow.
There we go. Alright. Oh wait, there's Lone Star, or no, is it Lone Star or Knight Errant?
Ow. Get fucked. Ow, Jesus Christ. Fine, I'll heal you. No, at least they all only seem to have 1 AP. Bang, bang, bang. Oh. Oh, of course I missed. Excuse you, sir. That is illegal. Only I'm allowed to, like, fuck you up. Don't run away and make things harder for me. Ah, yes, my 1 AP is being wasted on reloading. Fantastic. Ow. Okay. I guess there's more people around here then. I don't see any. But it's... Ah, there he is. Ow. Can I reach him from here? No, it's still line of sight blocked. Wow! 3 HP. You're a terrible healer.
Run out of my line of sight. That makes it harder to shoot you more. I know that's the point. Shut up. Alrighty. Oh, that was horrible. Mission accomplished. Fucking finally. Call your handler and tell her that the job is done, and be quick about it. I need to be on the next train out of here. For once, he and I are in agreement. I can't put this place behind me quickly enough. All I want to do is go home, hug my cat, and forget that tonight ever happened. You punch Zuka Dur's comm code into your PDA. A few seconds later, you hear the telltale click of a successful connection. Dur's voice pours out of your PDA speakers. Afer, the job is done, I trust. Yes, everything has been done to your specifications. Very good. Now, if you please, give me a status update on the member of our team. The elf from Tiratarn Gear turned on us. We had to put him down, but Janet and James are both alive and well. He clucks his tongue softly. Interesting. That the elf is dead was expected. He was a dangerous and unreasonable person. Disgruntled, you might say, after years of service in our employ. His betrayal of you was inevitable. Thankfully, with his death, we have gained valuable insight into your character. James's continued survival, on the other hand, was not unexpected. You were a very patient woman, Afer. Dura smiles. This has been most informative. James' posture stiffens, but he says nothing. You can see a dawning awareness behind his eyes, though. Slowly the color begins to drain from his face. Now, let us see how adequately you completed the task that I set before you. Enter the following code into your PDA, if you please. It's not gonna... You type the code as instructed and PDA screen cuts to static. A moment later, a familiar image materializes on the screen. The penthouse room that you bugged. It appears to be a live feed from the cameras that you planted. You sure this room is secure? You've done a full sweep. Absolutely, sir. We've run multiple sweeps with a complete sensor package, and we brought in a mage to search for signs of astral tampering. It all checks out clean. You're completely safe in here. He lets out a heavy sigh. Thank God. Call downstairs and let my wife and kid know that it's safe to come up. Will do, sir. Is there anything else that I can do for you tonight? No, thank you. That'll be all. You have a good... Suddenly, the air in the room seems to ignite. There is a blinding flash, and her PDA screen cuts to static. The thing she planted was a bomb. And that takes care of that. Please return to the Cruise Bazaar. The remainder of your post-run interview will conclude upon your arrival. Hang on, what the hell was that? He raises an eyebrow. What did it feel like? An explosion, of course. You'd lied to me, dear. I told you that you'd be planting bugs, and you did plant bugs. You did a wonderful job of it, I might add. Jaina's job was to plant the bomb. But we can discuss all of this upon your return. Jaina covers her mouth with her hand, a horrified expression on her face. Oh God, I killed someone. That man is dead because of me. From the sound of that explosion, I guess that you killed a fair number of someones. Alishar and his bodyguard at the very least, and probably a good half-dozen more. A morbid grin creases the mage's thin-lipped mouth. That makes you a mass murderer, Mouse. You're moving up in the world. A sob racks her chest. She begins to hyperventilate. I can never get away from this. This is going to follow me for the rest of my life. I killed people. I'm a fucking murderer. Say it louder, why don't you? I don't think it heard you in France. I haven't heard a response from you, Aether. Shall I make the preparations for your post-run interview? Are you ready to continue your test? You're damn right we're going to be talking about this, Luca. I'll be on the next train home. Very good. I'll be waiting.